From here, the second phase of digestion of lipids is started. That is transport phase. Now, the products which are produced in the preparative phase, that include free fatty acid, alpha and beta monosaccharides, enter the microvilli and the apical pole of epithelial cells of small intestine. And this is occurred by simple diffusion process through epithelial cell membrane. Here, the important thing is that short and medium chain of fatty acids, or the fatty acid containing short and medium carbon chain, that is from 6 to 10 carbon, and the unsaturated fatty acids, means having double bonds, are more readily absorbed as compared to the fatty acids which are having long chain of carbon atoms, that is from 12 to 18, and the saturated fatty acids. So the short chain fatty acids appear, and also the short chain fatty acids producing enhanced absorption of fats, whereas the long chain fatty acids decreasing the process of absorption. Now in the epithelial cell, now what happened in the epithelial cell of a small intestine? Here, the digested products are taken up by the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, where the resynthesis of triglyceride occurred by under the influence of enzyme, which are present in membrane and cavities of the reticulum. Here, the rapid removal of the produced fatty acid and alpha and beta monoglyceride and their resynthesis process maintain the sharp gradient of concentration within the mucosal cell of small intestine, favoring the continuous rapid diffusion into the cell from the intestinal lumen where the digested products are available. Now, the next phase of digestion of fat is started, that is transportation phase. And here, the sequence of events occurred in the intestinal mucosal cell. And what happened here? The form alpha monoglyceride, that is about 6%, has to further hydrolyze and by the enzyme, that is intestinal lipase, which form free fatty acid and glycerol. This intestinal lipase is present within the epithelial cell. Now the fatty acid which are produced from hydrolysis of alpha beta monoglyceride. Now the fatty acid which are absorbed from intestinal lumen and the fatty acid which are formed from the hydrolysis of alpha monoglyceride are involved in the synthesis of acyl-CoA, and that required the enzyme thiokinase, which is a ligase enzyme. So in presence of coenzyme A, the fatty acids, so in presence of coenzyme A and ATP, the formation of acyl-CoA is occurred. Actually, the coenzyme A is the acyl carrier which form acyl-CoA under the influence of enzyme thiokinase and ATP and magnesium ion. And this enzyme is present in the mucosal cells of intestine. Now here, the glycerol, which is released within the intestinal wall cells, not in the lumen, are reutilized for the synthesis of triglyceride. Here, the glycerol is converted to alpha glycerol phosphate by the enzyme glycerokinase and in presence of adenosine triphosphate. And here, some amount of alpha glycerophosphate can be contributed from the process of glycolysis, which is the process continuing in intestinal epithelial cell, because glycolysis is occurred in every cells, so which is operating in the intestinal epithelial cell can contribute to provide alpha glycerol phosphate, and the alpha glycerol phosphate can combine with acyl CoA that is formed, and this will lead to the formation of triglyceride molecule. And also, as we saw, that about 72% of beta monoglyceride are formed, which is absorbed from the intestinal lumen, can also combine with acyl CoA and lead to the formation of triglyceride. So this is how the triglyceride is formed. See here, in the intestinal lumen, beta monoglyceride are present, free fatty acids are present, and the glycerol is present. Now from here, the free fatty acids is converted to acyl CoA in the presence of enzyme thiokinase, that is a ligase. In presence of coenzyme A, the acyl CoA is produced because coenzyme A is a carrier of acyl group. And from here, the beta monoglyceride that is produced in the lumen then come in the intestinal epithelial cell. This beta monoglyceride and the acyl CoA can contribute to the formation of triglyceride. Now the other route is that the beta monoglyceride is converted to alpha monoglyceride under the influence of enzyme intestinal lipase. It is converted to glycerol. One fatty acid is removed and now it is converted to glycerol. This glycerol is converted to alpha glycerol, alpha glycerophosphate. And also the alpha glycerophosphate can come from glycolysis. And then this alpha glycerophosphate and the acyl CoA contribute to form triglyceride. So from this route, triglyceride is synthesized, and also from this route, from beta monoglyceride and acyl CoA, the triglyceride is formed. So one route is from alpha glycerophosphate with acyl CoA, another route is from beta monoglyceride with acyl CoA. From both routes, triglyceride formation is occurred. Now the resynthesized triglyceride and other products have to absorb from the intestinal cells. The free glycerol, that is about 22% produced in the lumen, is not utilized in the resynthesis of triglyceride, as I told you, because I told you that the glycerol which is produced within the intestinal wall cells are utilized in the synthesis of triglyceride. And the glycerol which is produced in the lumen, that is about 22%, it is not utilized in the triglyceride synthesis, and it passes to the liver through the portal vein. Whereas the fatty acids which are formed are absorbed according to their carbon contents. The less carbon content containing fatty acid, or the short chain fatty acids, and the medium chain fatty acid, that is about 8 to 10 carbon containing fatty acids, and also the unsaturated fatty acids having the double bonds, are absorbed to the portal blood directly and taken to the liver. And normally all the free fatty acids which are present in the intestinal wall are utilized in the synthesis of triglyceride. But some fatty acids which have carbon atoms more than 10 are found as esterified fatty acids in the limb of the lacteals or the lymphatic vessels, and are passes to the systemic circulation through the thoracic duct. So the higher carbon atom containing fatty acids are found as esterified fatty acid in the lymphatic vessels, and then they are passes to the systemic circulation through the thoracic duct. Now, fate of resynthesized triglyceride. The triglyceride, which are synthesized within the epithelial wall cells, again, these are water insoluble and hydrophobic. So, they have to be converted to lipoprotein complex, and these complex are called chylomicron. So as it is, they are not transferred to the lymphatic vessels or portal blood. They have to be converted to chylomicrons, which is the complex with lipoprotein. Now here, the droplet of hydrophobic and water insoluble triglyceride gets covered with the layer of hydrophilic phospholipid, cholesterol or cholesterol esters, and a specific lipoprotein that is called apoprotein B48. Now see the chylomicron, which are synthesized in the intestinal wall, and it is composed of triglyceride, cholesterol that can be free or esterified, phospholipid layer, and a specific protein that is apoprotein or ApoB48. So the triglyceride, which are hydrophobic, cannot be entered to the lymphatic vessels or in the portal blood. So first they have to be converted to chylomicron, which release in the lymphatics, which enter the lymphatic vessels. And how this occurred? The chylomicrons pass out through the cell membrane of bases and lateral walls of the intestinal epithelial cells. And then they move through the extracellular spaces between those cells and enter the lymphatic vessels that are present in the abdominal region, and ultimately enter to the systemic circulation through the thoracic duct that you can see in the figure. The chylomicron enter the lymphatic vessels, and then it will enter to the systemic circulation through the thoracic duct. Now, fate of circulating chylomicrons. What happened to these chylomicrons? How long they stay? First, the presence of chylomicron in the circulating blood after a meal accounts of postprandial lipemia, which is characterized by high triglyceride-rich lipoprotein when the plasma separated is milky white. But this gradually disappeared and plasma become clear after 2 to 2.5 hours of a meal. And what is the reason behind? Because the triglyceride again hydrolyze in the circulating blood to produce glycerol and free fatty acid. And this required the enzyme that is lipoprotein lipase. Fate of undigested fat. All the lipids are not hydrolyzed in the intestinal lumen, and some amount of fats are remain unhydrolyzed or a part is unhydrolyzed. So a combination of bile salt, fatty acids, or mono or diglyceride can lead to the formation of dispersion that is not increase the size over 0.5 millimicron in diameter, that is micelle formation. And then they can be absorbed into the lymphatic channel from this dispersion directly. Because of the small size of the micelles, they can be absorbed into the lymphatic channel from the dispersion that is formed containing the bile salt, fatty acids, and monodiglyceride. So students, this was all about the digestion and absorption of lipids. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Take care.